In the blue drone, it's UFO from Healdsburg, California, age 32.
The only player to win every single quarterfinal heat. He is the one to watch.
Absolutely.
Hey, what's up everybody? It's UFO, and I thought I'd bring this video to you guys with a few tips and tricks for the DRL Tryouts. Last year I took second place in the DRL Tryouts, which then got me drafted into the league, and I was a pilot in the 2018 season. So right now there's about less than 2 months until the tryouts. So I kind of want to give you a few tips to help you make the most of your available time. Tip number 1, assess your current situation. I think that it's incredibly important to be realistic about where you stand for the purpose of knowing what you need to train for to get to the point that you want to be. So if you are outside of the top 24 right now, you know that you need to push harder. Even if you were in the top 24, you obviously have to push harder, but knowing that helps you. It's going to help you stay realistic and set realistic goals that you can achieve so you can get faster and faster. So with that said, take a simple track like Miami. Look at your time on the Miami track and look at the top 10 pilots' times. I don't really care about everybody else. It's top 10. So just look at what you need to be in the top 10. Watch their replays. Take notes. So if you watch your own replay, you'll be able to see where, for example, you blow out a turn, you go too wide, or you're losing too much speed. If you watch other people's replays, you are basically getting the perfect line, so to say, and you can see where they're slowing down, where they're speeding up, if they're taking a turn in a different way than you are. All of these things are incredibly important. So assessing where you stand in reference to other pilots. That brings me to point 2, which is determining your focus points and setting a schedule. So if on Miami you are having some serious issues with the split S, the football goal split S, you are seeing other pilots pull away from you, you need to set that as a focus point. So you're going to focus solely on split S's. Forget the rest of the track. You're going to practice 3 points before the split S. So 3 turns or 3 features before. You're going to start from there and just do it over and over and over again. Try to get as tight and as close as you can. Try to be hopefully full throttle the whole time. That is setting a focused goal, which is getting better at split S's, which is something that you're not good at. So determine what your strengths and what your weaknesses are. Set a schedule. So for the next week, you're going to write on your calendar, I need to practice 2 days worth of split S's and 2 days worth of left-handed corkscrews, or whatever it may be that you are assessing is a weak point, and set that on your schedule and practice it. Tip number 3, don't get frustrated. You're going to have to do this over and over and over again for way longer than you want to. If you want to be in DRL, if you want to win the tryouts, you are going to have to grind. So don't get frustrated, and my main tip for that is to take breaks. If you're feeling yourself, hitting a wall, so to say, with your performance in your training, take a break, take a 15-minute break, get some food, water, walk, whatever works for you. But the main reason we're taking a break is so that we don't practice incorrectly. So if you're frustrated and you're not performing well and you continue pounding your head into the wall, it's not going to do you any good, and you're literally wasting your time. You might as well not be practicing. So it's important to take breaks, and yeah, don't get frustrated. But by the way, you're going to get frustrated, and it's going to hurt. It's going to suck. But you're focused on one thing, which is winning the tryouts. So if you really want it, it's going to be worth it. In addition to working on your specific training goals, like whether it's a split S or whatever we talked about previously, I would suggest working on one track at a time, really learning the track, spending a good amount of time with it up to the point where you're bored, and then switching to another track so it's fresh, it's exciting, and you want to keep going and you're excited about learning. So switch up the tracks when you're bored. Take time to experiment with your rates. I think that it's important to get something that's comfortable with you. I know a lot of people kind of just ask, like the fastest pilot they know, hey, what's your rates? And to a certain extent that does work, because more experienced pilots have a better overall sense of what's correct for racing. But it's still personal preference. So use that as a reference if you'd like. But I would suggest taking 2 to 3 days to play with rates. Try drastic changes. Try really low rates, and then try really high rates. What does that feel like? Does it make me feel anxious? Am I comfortable? Am I crashing more? Am I crashing less? Am I slower? Am I faster? Am I more confident? And that's really what I think is important with rates, is being confident. And we all kind of have our normal stick feel, like what's right for the amount of throw on the stick. And that just takes time. So take time with your rates. And once you get something that's, say, 90% there, stick with it. Do not change it. Okay? You can mess with it later on if you'd like, but the purpose of spending time with our rates is to get it 90% there. Okay? I don't want you to be spending a ton of time playing around with rates. Okay? Number 8. So focus on consistency. Consistency is what wins races. We have a tendency in online racing, in simulated racing, to just go for the fastest lap time. And basically what that equates to is either we get the fastest lap time or we crash and it's completely over. So that is such an important point. And it drastically affected my performance, not only in the tryouts, but also during the actual DRL season. So if you take anything home right now, is you should really be training like you're flying in real life. This is not the place to be just doing hot lap hero stuff, to be doing Hail Marys, just trying to get the fastest lap time. I know that we want to get up on the leaderboard, but if you're getting up on the leaderboard by doing a 1 in 100 time, like you're crashing 99 times out of 100, but you're up there, I'm sorry, but that, to me, that's a waste of time. So I really want you to focus on flying consistently, and that, I think, stems from taking the time to focus and learn the track. Go slow, like putt around the track. Don't even try to go for any sort of lap time. Literally just cruise and explore the track. See what a line feels like from 2 different portions of a hallway. See what it feels like taking the split S a different way. I think getting comfortable on the track getting spatial awareness, and allowing you to pick the best line, the safest line, and the fastest line, which is that perfect combination that usually doesn't exist, but we're all looking for. So take the time with the tracks and learn how to fly safely. Super important. I think another important thing that I did, which is tip number 9, is really take time to supplement your training on the simulator with mental conditioning and educating yourself about the mental side of competition. This is very much like any other form of competition. I've actually never competed in anything much in my life, like not even like soccer, basketball, baseball, nothing like that. So coming into this, I knew very little about competition. So take some time to read some books, go on YouTube, watch some TED Talks about sports psychology and the mental side. I personally used some meditation techniques to calm me during competition and to keep me focused on what I already knew and allow my practice to come out without letting my head get in the way of that. So if that's something you're into, I use this app called Headspace, which really helped me out, and it's super easy to do. Check it out. Headspace is the app. And yeah, I just encourage you to be holistic about your competitive side, because if you really want to do this professionally, winning the tryouts is the easiest thing you're going to do if you want to take this competitively. So educate yourself there. Tip number 10, which is an incredibly important tip. I don't know why it's last, but if you win the tryouts and you get the contract, you are in about a month and a half time after that going to be flying against the best pilots in the world. The top 18 pilots are going to be your competition, and you are not flying a simulator anymore. So it is incredibly important to get out there in the real world and fly a real drone. Get yourself acquainted specifically with heavier quads. Okay, the Racer 3, for example, weighs 1 kilo. So that is enormous. It's incredibly heavy. It flies much different than your standard quad. It's heavier. Your lines are going to be longer. You're going to be full throttle a lot of the time. So get yourself acquainted with racing in real life. It's super important. So I think that's all the tips that I have for right now. If I forget anything, I will make another video, but I really want to wish you luck. Being in the DRL Tryouts was an amazing experience, and I made tons of friends. It obviously made me a professional drone pilot. I competed in the 2018 season of DRL. I've picked up numerous sponsorships, and I'm continuing to pursue this drone racing and drone cinematography career. So I wish you the best of luck, and feel free to ask any questions down in the comments, and give this video a like, a thumbs up, subscribe, all that stuff. And yeah, we'll see you soon, and I will see you in Las Vegas for the 2019 tryouts in February. I will be there, and yeah, we'll meet. Cheers. Bye.